Good morning. My name's Will Salisbury.
Morning, guys. My name is Viet Nguyen, and today we will cover some big cyber news, online news sources, and I wanna talk about a little bit about my favorite, like the news online website they call cyber news. Normally, like every day when I get up, I spend a little bit time on bed to check up on this website to see what's going on with the world of cybersecurity. And this early morning, when I wake up and I check the news and I see something really interesting, so I want to share with you guys. So, a title of the news I read this morning is Hero Hackers Claim to have breached Belarusian weapons firm. So, right now, you guys knows like all thing about Russia, Ukraine, and their allies, their invasion to Ukraine is really hot topic in everywhere, online, offline, everything. And this this news kind of really like stand out because we always have like the bad hackers who try to hack and to bring a lot of problems to people. But now we have a hero hackers who are independent from any governmental organization. They belong to no one. They're independent, and they do the hacking for a really good cause. So now in the future, if you see something from Belarus, so you have a sense of warning, like it may come from a malware or something not legitimate. So that's a warning I want to give to you after I read the news title. What about you, Will? Anything you find out about this?
Yeah, that's a good point to bring up, Viet. Today we're covering the news sources. So this is one of Viet's favorites is cyber news. So if you weren't aware of how Belarus relates to Russia, now you know that Belarus is an ally of Russia, and that's why it's being targeted by these hero hackers. Going to sites like this allow a cyberist or a cybersecurity expert to be aware of things that are going on in the news. So today we're going to cover the best of these tool sets and how to kind of manage them. We have our own for those of you that want to just see our videos one at a time. If you want to go to it-cyber.com, that's where we keep all of our most current videos. Today we're going to start off by covering an RSS. Many of you may have seen this symbol on the far right, the orange with the wireless symbol. That is an RSS, or simply a really simple syndication. It's basically just a link to a feed, like a Twitter feed, but instead of it coming from people or organizations, it comes from websites or online developers. If you can get that line of code, you can get that stream of data and have it placed pretty much anywhere on your own website, or what we're going to talk about today is a compiler. So this is a RSS compiler website. There's quite a few out there. Some that are probably a little more popular than Feedly, but Feedly is the one that I use, so that's the one we're going to cover today. So the first thing you need to do in Feedly is just set up an account. It's free. They have some advanced features if you're really heavy-handed and you want a lot more aggregation. They have an AI that actually can parse some of the less meaningful things out of those feeds that you collect. So let's say in this case, Cyber News, the one that we just came from. Instead of having to look over the website and see if it has an RSS feed, which sometimes many sites do, they'll have it at the very bottom of their page that says, in this case, it doesn't have a direct RSS feed on the bottom. We go to our Feedly, and it lets us either do an RSS feed, or we can search by website. In this case, Cyber News. And we can see the Cyber News group is in the feed. They also have keyword search if you want to pay for the premium service, so that you can actually just set up words that if any news source that they have in their collection uses that, then it'll pop up in your alert. Like if I said William Salisbury, I could set a keyword search, so if I show up in the news anywhere or someone with my name, it would pop. Or Russia QBot. So just going to go back to Cyber News, which they have a legitimate feed for. You click on the source. It's a little slow. And then you click on, in this case we're already following it, but you can add it to different collections. So in my case I have 3 collections. I have one that's for cybersecurity, for the latest hacks that are going on, and for programs that I manage. You can add more of these folders, or you can just reassign whichever source that you're adding to one of the ones that you've already made. Okay? Really simple. What that ends up looking like is this. So I'm going to open up one of my folders, in this case the cybersecurity one. Up here you can see it's loading all those various feeds that I'm going to pop open real quick to let you see as soon as the website catches up. Okay, so you can see under here I've expanded the cybersecurity folder. You can see all the different feed sources that I'm pulling from. The CISA, which everyone should have access to. That's a given. Malwarebytes is pretty good. Know before if you're into social engineering. Kaspersky Labs, the Hacker News. So a lot of different sources there. And this is how it displays it by default, is in a list format. Up here, option to change it. My preference is card view. If you're used to an IT dashboard of any kind, the card view is kind of the best way to go. It lets you kind of just see a little visual image and also have each of those articles so you can kind of scan through the ones that are most current. On the side here it also has the time, and also says what it relates to in green text. So Russia, Ukraine, phishing, malware, and hacker groups taking sides. This is probably breaking up all the independent agencies and if they're supporting Russia's invasion of Ukraine, or if they're helping fight or trying to dissuade Russia from continuing on its current path. Let's see what else we got here. Hijacking malware spreading through gaming apps on Microsoft Store. So that's a big deal. Most of the apps that go through the Microsoft Store, just like the App Store in Apple, get screened. So if malware was able to get through, then Microsoft's a large distribution area, so that has the power to get a lot out there. Let's see here, what else we got. So it's basically just that. It's a lot of sources that give you the potential to basically, instead of going to 12 to 15 different websites and looking for duplications, you can just get it all in one spot, like your own personal newspaper. Let's see here. Those are my favorite sources. What about you, Veet? What's your favorite besides Cyber News?
Definitely, I think today Feedly, right.com, where we can like buy everything in one. That means you can save money, and it's really like up to date, day by day. Now, so you have a sense that kind of like.
Oh yeah, without doubt. So besides the aggregation that we have right there, we also want to leave you on a note. If you are interested in becoming a really good cybersecurity expert, one of the minor skills you might want to master is hacking. Against someone who is trying to enter your system, you have to know how they're doing it. Like a police officer has to be able to put their mind inside a criminal, because if they don't know how a criminal thinks as far as entering a building, they may not think to close certain windows or to check the roof, or all these various things that can make it so they can work around the security that's established. So we all know most places have locks in their doors, fences, and things like that. And just like that in the network, we have firewalls, and we have vulnerability scanners and things like that. So how do we bypass that? So you have to understand how to be successful at defending against them. And that's all I've got for today. How about you, Veet?
I really love the website hacker101.com. And normally when I start studying something about like penetration testing, so people usually encourage me to use Kali Linux to start with. And I don't really know about other websites. I just like focus on whatever Kali Linux tell me to do, like Metasploit, Nmap or something, Nmap to scan for port or something like that. But right today, when you show me and introduce to people about the hacker101.com, I think really good, another really good resources to study about hacking. And I strongly agree with you that and like their motivation, and then we can mitigate or have a really good plan of incident response if something happened to our system. There's always a opportunity to learn, but we call it ethical.
Ethical.
So be productive, but then yeah, I mean like ethical. So
Okay,
yeah,
sounds good to
I
me,
think
V.
all the good
And remember, if
things
you're gonna be a hacker,
people will.
be a good hacker, not a bad hacker. Bye.